All right, well, with that wonderful music, we will now do the boring stuff. I would like to call this meeting to order at 7:03. Can I have a moment of silence, please? Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Mr. Kenny? Here. Ms. Blystein?
Here.
Mr. Bromhall?
Here.
Mr. Evans?
Here.
Ms. Iacone?
Here.
Mr. Meeker?
Here.
Ms. Trompe?
Here.
Ms. Topps?
Here.
Ms. Fitzwater here. Statement is hereby made that adequate notice of this meeting was given by submission of said notice to the Burlington County Times, the Courier Post, the Cinnaminson Township Clerk, and the district website on the following date, January 17th, 2024. We're moving on to Section 4, routine business. A, we have the Board Secretary's report as of October 2024, the Treasurer's report for October 2024, the receipts and appropriations adjustments for October 2024, the monthly transfer report for October 2024, the high school activities report for November 2024, the food service management cost performance statement for November 2024, certified bill list as of 12/11/2024, the approval of minutes from our regular meeting on 11/19/24. And Mr. Kenny, can I have a motion to approve Section 4, routine business items A through H?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Topps?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 5, routine matters. We have the enrollment report for December 13th, 2024, the health report for November of 24, the fire alarm report for November of 24, the crisis drill report for November of 24, and the superintendent's monthly report. Mr. Capello.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. The groups have stepped out, but once again, I wanted to offer my thanks and praise to our students in the Performing Arts Department. Mrs. Sigmund and Mr. Bacon do just a fantastic job, and we're really proud, not only of the accolades they received recently, particularly our middle school students for being on B101, but if you follow any of our social media, you see so many of our students have been recognized at the county level and at the state level for all state, all county. We've had all East Coast, and it is, of course, due to the thriving arts program here and our wonderful teachers who help instill that love of the arts in our students. Lots of great things happening in the performing arts over the next week or so. Our Rush concert was a fantastic hit. The fifth graders performed last week at the high school. Middle school, as we said, has their performance tomorrow evening, and the high school choral group that we just heard from is performing Thursday night. We're really looking forward to our second graders and their concert in the next couple of days, taking part over 2 days at New Albany School. And I'm especially looking forward to 10 o'clock tomorrow, where our pre-K kids will be hosting their sing-along. So look out for some social media clips of that. Also, while we're in the world of performing arts, I wanted to give some recognition to some of our students. This is hot off the press this morning from Mr. Hercock. These are students who've been recognized for high school and middle school honors orchestra. Grade 11, Olivia Gola, grade 11, Veronica Siosik, and grade 10, Annabelle Simone, for viola, cello, and violin have all been recognized by the high school honors orchestra. And also at the intermediate school level, Nisa Kabuk for violin and Isabella Cerula for viola. So congratulations to all of those students. I'd like to take a moment to thank members of our Cinnaminson Elementary Home and School Association who hosted Winterfest, another successful Winterfest last week. It's a wonderful fundraiser for that community and always a great time to spread holiday cheer throughout Cinnaminson. We will have a presentation on this in May of this year when our new initiative of the board concludes, but throughout the year, the board made a challenge to Mr. Wilkinson and to Mr. Miley here at the middle school to integrate service learning into our extracurricular, particularly our athletic programs here in the district. And each team has adopted a cause, and that cause will carry with them throughout their season. Just wanted to highlight a little bit of what's happening during the winter months. Our swim team's kicking off with a winter service project on December 18th at the Camden County Technical Schools. They'll be be collecting donations in their meet against Gloucester City, and those donations will help the residents of St. Mary's Nursing Home in Cherry Hill. And then in January, the wrestling team will host their Fallen Heroes match, honoring local firefighters, police officers, active military personnel, and veterans, so watch out for that. They'll be selling some T-shirts ahead of that. Bowling team is going to be raising money this year for Alzheimer's, and on January 20th, they'll be hosting a special tournament with benefits going towards Alzheimer's. And on January 27th, the cheerleading team and the boys and girls basketball team will host a special doubleheader. We've had that the last couple of years here, and they'll be collecting money for those impacted and surviving cancer. And the winter track team is excited to announce that they are setting dates for upcoming Dine and Donates, and this year they'll be committing their efforts towards Lisa's Fund. So more for the board to come of that from a presentation from Mr. Miley and Mr. Wilkinson later. Special congratulations this time of year. I know it's an odd time, but we don't set the schedule. The governor's office does, but we recognize our governor's educators of the year. And if you follow us on social media, you saw some big announcements last week. It is a great honor to be recognized at that level. So I'd like to recognize them this evening, and then later in the spring, the board will recognize them along with our Board of Education award winners as well. So from the New Albany School, Olivia Choi, special education teacher. From the Eleanor Rush School, Amanda Kelly. From the middle school, Stephanie Halabura, social studies teacher. From the high school, Mr. Craig Angelini, biology and environmental sciences teacher. And our district ESP of the year, congratulations to Bailey Bond, who is a speech professional here in the district working out of the Memorial School. Finally, on behalf of the administration, I want to wish everybody in the Cinnaminson community a very happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and we wish you health and happiness into the new year. Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Capello.
Oh, I also, this is somewhat hot off the press. I don't, stay tuned, but I believe a couple of our students, Ms. DeSimone, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I know you may not have the names handy, but there is a rumor that several of our students will be performing tomorrow on?
The Today Show.
On the Today Show. So if you,
Philadelphia Boys Choir.
they perform as part of the Philadelphia Boys Choir, so I preemptively recognizing them, we'll make sure we plug them and get those clips out on social media. It's a great honor this time of year for them. So a little highlight, little ... to follow up on, so thank you. Now I will come to you.
Thank you. Mr. Bromhall, can I have a motion to approve routine matters, items A through E?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Blaustein. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Meeker?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 6, the student representative reports. First, our high school representative, Gwen Chikonsky.
Good evening, everyone. The Board of Education meeting recap is the November Students of the Month for the class of 2025 is Megan Nelson, class of 2026, Christian Feely, class of 2027, Catherine Smith, class of 2028, Madeline Farrell. Winter sports have started their 2024 seasons. The boys basketball team captains are Sadi Gant, Colin Parrish, Noah Harvey, and Drew Harvey. The first game is December 19th at Bordentown. The girls' basketball captains are Nora Quinn, Shiloh Moore, Ava Senilevich, Madden Rettler, and Ellie Zarnowski. The first game is today, December 17th, versus Williamstown High School. The wrestling team captains are Thomas Lormer, Dylan Vallone, Max Wright, and Dominic Del Grippo. The team started their season over the weekend with the Robin Leaf Tournament at Southern High School. Dylan Vallone placed third, and heavyweight Aris Kumis went 4 for 1. The girls open at Manchester on Wednesday. The winter track team had their first meet December 14th, the SJTCA winter meet at University of Penn. Eddie Frey won and set a school record in pole vault at 14 and 6. The swimming team captains are Hannah McCrissy, Tessa Devone, Robert Preston, Brendan Fratto, and Vincent Andonizo. The first meet was December 3rd against Holy Cross. The bowling girls captains are Eliana Miller and Eliana Moliv. The boys captains are Juan Jogblatt and Jace Gallant. The first match was December 9th. For the class of 2027, on December 11th, held their sophomore cotillion at the Madison in Riverside. Memories were made by all who attended. For NHS, congratulations to the newly inducted members of the National Honor Society. On Tuesday, November 26, 2024, 26 juniors and 9 seniors were inducted to the NHS chapter of Cinnaminson. For Interact, 10 Interact students and their advisors took a field trip to Urban Promise on November 22nd to help distribute Thanksgiving food items to those in need, the community of Camden. Interact students also helped out the Home and School Association on Saturday, December 7th and Sunday, December 8th with their annual Winterfest. Finally, they are in the process of making candy holiday sleighs as a fundraiser to raise money for various Interact activities and scholarships. The DECA team sponsored a Toys for Tot drive and collected 90 toys for autistic and developmentally challenged children. This year, the high school raised $350 for the Chop Pajama Day fundraiser, and the funds are truly appreciated as they will go towards supporting children with cancer. It was such a joy to see the school come together for such a wonderful cause, and it's heartwarming to know that our efforts will make a difference in the lives of these children. Thank you to everyone who participated and contributed. In the music department, it is the busy season. On Friday, December 6th, the CHS Flute Choir played before the CHS Community Chorus Concert, and on Wednesday, December 11th, the Chamber Choir performed for the annual tree lighting at Lakeview Memorial. The next day, December 12th, the Chamber Choir sang at the Delran Chick-fil-A for a fundraising event. Additionally, the CHS Indoor Drumline and Color Guard have started rehearsals and are excited for their upcoming season. The CHS Winter Concert featuring the band, choir, and string students will be held on December 19th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. Admission is free, and all are welcome to attend for some holiday cheer. The CHS Math League is currently in second place in the Burlington County Math League. They have 2 remaining matches for the season. For the Spanish Club, it's been a very busy month. From December 2nd to the 16th, the CHS Spanish Club hosted a Pulsera sale to raise funds for the Central American artisans. The Pulsera Project is a nonprofit organization that works with over 200 artisans in Guatemala and Nicaragua to sell beautiful hand-woven bracelets, pulseras in Spanish, as well as small bolsitas, which is purses. Each $5 pulsera and $15 bolsita sold will help create fair job trades, support communities in Nicaragua and Guatemala, and fund a number of programs that help the lives of hundreds of Central Americans. This year, we raised $472.50. On December 12th, the Spanish Club traveled to La Luna Dance Studio in Bristol, PA, for 2 hours of dance instruction on the salsa and bachata by a professional salsa dancer. Some students won prizes for a question and answer session to test the students' Spanish skills, and everyone enjoyed eating an authentic Latin lunch. On December 17th, the Spanish Club volunteered at Cambridge Nursing Home in Morristown by singing traditional Christmas carols in Spanish and English, along with the French Club singing in French. The Unified Club on December 6th hosted a South Jersey Youth Summit for 10 schools sponsored by the NJ Special Olympics. This youth summit focused on giving students the tools to empower inclusive youth leaderships within their school community. Students participated in interactive activities to learn how to reduce bullying and inclusion, promote healthy activities and interactions, combat stereotypes and stigma, and eliminate hurtful language in schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Gwen. Now we'll hear from our middle school student representative, Noah Bundy.
Good evening to all of you. Our middle school students of the month for November are 6th grader Harper Travers, 7th grader Sumto Orabasali, and 8th grader Sydney Seawick. The faculty member of the month was Mrs. Katie Lee, 8th grade math teacher. Congratulations to all. CMS is proud to announce that 6th grade social studies teacher, Mrs. Stephanie Halabiera, has been selected as Cinnaminson Middle School's Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. CMS hosted its annual winter concert on December 10th in the CMS Middle School cafetorium. The concert featured performers from the band and strings. Congratulations to Mr. Dave Hercock and Mr. Luke Buchanan for an amazing concert. Congratulations to 2 of our 8th grade CMS strings players for being accepted into the South Jersey Honors Orchestra, Nisa Kabuk for violin and Isabella Karula for viola. Cinnaminson Select Singers, CSS, traveled to Winterfest at the historic Smithville Village this past weekend for an exceptional performance. CSS will also be performing on Spirit Night, December 20th, at the Delran Chick-fil-A from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. The CMS Winter Choral Concert will be held tomorrow in the CMS Middle School Cafetorium at 6:30 p.m. under the direction of Mrs. Sigmund. The CMS Art Show will also take place tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. All 3 CMS winter sports programs began competing last week. The records are as follows: wrestling 3-0, boys basketball A 1-2, boys basketball B 0-3, girls basketball A 1-2, and girls basketball B 2-1. Unity Club will host the Senior Citizens Breakfast on Friday, December 20th from 9:30 to 11. Seniors will be entertained by our student musicians, singers, and dancers. Students and staff are participating in dress-up days leading up to winter break. The remaining Spirit days are Wednesday, December 18th, midweek merriment, wear anything shiny or sparkly. Thursday, December 19th, sweater weather, tacky or traditional, wear your favorite holiday sweater. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a wonderful winter break. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Nick. I'm sorry, thank you, Noah. All right, we're going on to Section 7, presentation. Mr. Capella?
Be me. So for those of you who were here with us last month, you know that once a year we celebrate Youth in Board Governance Day, full day in the school, and then the students lead the board meeting in the evening. And that, coupled with this evening's musical performances, are always my favorite board meetings of the year because our students have an opportunity to learn a lot about what goes into running a school district, and they get to learn about the very vital and important role that members of the Board of Education play in our community. Board of Education is a special elected official in the state of New Jersey. When our students hear for the first time that these folks give scores of hours every year, every month, countless dedication to the students, to the taxpayers, and to the community, and at the end of the day are paid absolutely nothing for it, it is usually a surprise to them, and we have a conversation about why is it that these 9 folks choose to be elected officials in the township of Cinnaminson or wherever they live in order to be a part of the Board of Education. And during our brainstorming session, a lot of words get thrown out there like dedication, passion, love. And it usually comes back to a similar notion of these are folks who care greatly about our community, but most importantly, they are here to do what is best for kids. And in my 9 years here in Cinnaminson, I've been so fortunate that every board member that I've ever come across is focused foremost on what is best for our students. So at this point, I'd like to recognize some outgoing board members and thank them for their service. And if I could, I'd ask Ms. Topps, would you mind coming up and standing next to me for just a moment? By the way, all 3 of them who are being recognized, not one of them want to stand next to me this evening, so bear with them, because one of the great things about members of our Board of Education, too, is they often shy away from thanks and praise. And we talked about that a lot with the students as well. This is often a thankless job, but a vitally important job. So Ms. Tony Topps, you can stand right here next to me. Mrs. Topps joined our Board of Education when we needed her most. She has served thanklessly. Thanks. I'm giving you thanks. There's some thanks. Could we make it official? There are thanks. And diligently making sure that she was there as a resource for her fellow 8 board members, for me, the superintendent, for our administration, and most importantly, for our students. When we first met Tony, the question came up, same thing as we asked the students, why would you want to be a member of the Board of Education? And I don't know if you remember, but we talked about her passion sending her kids to school in Cinnaminson and the amount of benefit that they were had derived as a graduate, and were deriving as a student from our schools. And this was her way to give back. As a military veteran, as a professional, she had a lot of very valuable assets to give to this board, and we were so fortunate to have an opportunity to work with her. And I appreciate your coming here this evening and representing your family. Her son Xavier in grade 6 is so very proud of her, as is our 2022 graduate, Zion, right? Got the years right? And we thank you so much for your service to the board and your membership on the committees of the board. And I have hardware here. I even kept it safe in bubble wrap, so all of our board members being recognized this evening will be getting a plaque. Hopefully we have somewhere prominent to display it to thank you for your service. So Tony Tops, thank you so much for being a member of our Board of Education. We sincerely appreciate everything you've done for our students. So Mrs. Fitzwater, if you don't mind, we're going to take a quick picture.
Thank you guys so much.
Mr. Evans?
Thank you, Tony. Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate it.
You can see from Mr. Evans' face, he wants no part of this either, but you have to be recognized. It comes with the territory. So, Mr. Dan Evans has been a member of our Board of Education since 2022, again, stepping up at a time when the board needed him. Mr. Evans is an extremely talented media producer with a great background in the arts and has been an invaluable asset to members of the board. Serving as chairperson of the policy committee, he served during some times where there was a lot of great discussion and discourse, and he always acted professionally and with the students' best interests in his heart. And I think that that's all we can ask for from any board member. However, Dan stepped up for every occasion that he was called upon and made sure that he was there often many hours during the day, taking away from his job responsibilities, his family responsibilities, to be present for the board when the board needed him most. So Dan is also a proud father of a couple of students at Cinnaminson High School. And we have a wonderful tradition in this town that I did not see in some of the other school districts that I was a part of, where members of our Board of Education and former members of our Board of Education are invited to hand the diploma to their children when they graduate. Dan, your daughter is going to graduate in June. Yes. And we would love to invite you to be there to present her with her diploma, and then again your son Daniel 2 years from now. So it is a great honor, and we would love to have you be a part of that. We want to thank you for your service as a member of the Finance Committee and as the chairperson of the Policy Committee, and wish you the very best, and thank you for your service to the Board of Education. We won't tell your daughter, we'll make it a surprise. So then we're going to take a picture too. We need to move down. I feel like I just fit one. And if I noted that the previous two board members did not want to be recognized, I can assure you 1,000% that this next person shies away from recognition, even when it is so greatly deserved. Mrs. Turner, would you please come up here? Begrudgingly. Without being asked to, she is wearing red and black. She understands the assignment. Mrs. Turner, yeah, you come right in the hot seat. Mrs. Turner was the third person that I met when I interviewed for the job of Director of Curriculum in Cinnaminson Township. She was a part of my interview process, and I remember meeting her for the first time thinking, this is someone that truly cares about kids, truly cares about her community, and truly cares about making a difference. I had no idea what her history in the township was, but as I got to know her, and I got to know about her legend and lore in Cinnaminson, I learned that she has been involved in basically everything. To steal a term from my colleague, Dr. Goldburn, her fingerprints are all over this school system and all over this township. And I'll give you some specifics. Mrs. Turner joined the Board of Education, and correct my dates because it did predate me, 2015, and for those of you who are unaware, double-digit board member terms are a rarity these days. To give that much time and dedication is almost unheard of in today's environment. However, as I mentioned, Mrs. Turner's time time in Cinnaminson was predated by much volunteer work before her service on the Board of Education. She was the co-president of the Cinnaminson Middle School Home and School Association. All right, you got to. I'm sorry, you were the president and co-president. If you did anything in in-town cheerleading or in-town football, you went through Mrs. Turner, always there to volunteer to coordinate events. She is the first person that taught me about Winterfest and all of the rich tradition of home and school here at Cinnaminson Middle School. As a member of the board, she served as the vice president. She served as a part of 3 different committees during her board service. But a little known thing to many people in the community, or maybe perhaps very known to people in the community, but for those of us who arrived in 2016 or later, when our students go to high school every day at Cinnaminson High School, they go into a beautiful school. That in 2014, the township passed a bond referendum to make the revamping of the high school a reality. It was an astronomical project, and it was an astronomical project that was only possible thanks to the efforts of a core group of volunteers, including Mrs. Turner and a partner in crime who may be sitting back over there, who helped to make sure that the public was as educated about this process as possible. They quite literally went door to door asking for support for this very important initiative and essentially helped to reframe the future of Cinnaminson schools with the passing of that bond referendum. Mrs. Turner is a proud mother of 3 wonderful students. Sean, I see Leah is over there. Hi, Leah. Leah is a graduate and has followed mom's footsteps into the real estate world, I believe. And Craig, who I got to know as still holds the 3-point record for Cinnaminson boys basketball. They're wonderful young people who are reflective of the wonderful home life they received from Mrs. Turner and Mr. Craig Turner, class of it doesn't matter, but also Cinnaminson legend in his own right. The Turner name is synonymous with Cinnaminson, and even after leaving our Board of Education, Mrs. Turner is still dedicated to the entire Cinnaminson community. If you need an event to be planned in Cinnaminson, you go through Christine Turner. She continues to do her work at the township side now, but it still stays involved with the school. She can't get away. Just last week, she was here distributing fundraiser cards for Jersey Mike's that went to all 5 schools in the district, helping to raise hundreds and actually thousands of dollars for students in all 4 of our schools. And it is such a treasure to have her still affiliated with our school system. I am so fortunate that I had an opportunity to get to work alongside her. And I don't know if she remembers it, but when she first came to the board, she came at a time, again, you've heard this twice now, a time when the board needed her most. She was called upon to step in after the tragic passing of a board member, and when she came in, she let it be known. There was a quote in the newspaper where she said, "She is here for the service of the students." And she has led through that phrase for the last 10 years and continues to even in her board retirement. So fortunate that I had an opportunity to get to work with her. All of the students, the thousands of students who have come since have all benefited from her work and will for the next generation of students. So if you would join me in a round of applause for Mrs. Turner. All right, now we've got to get a picture. And the great thing is when you take a picture standing next to me, you look terrific. Look, everything's a lot better standing next to me. Come on, a little bit further. Now your family in the
Always
back.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
We go from that to 8, correspondence to the boards. Anyone have anything to share? We have no committee reports this month, so we move on to Section 10, public comments. Members of the public are reminded that comments should be limited to items that are appearing on the meeting's agenda tonight. There will be another opportunity during the meeting to comment on non-agenda items. All members of the public wishing to speak on agenda items only should raise their hand to indicate their wish to speak. When called upon, participants should state their first and last name and address clearly for the record. In accordance with Cinnaminson Board of Education Bylaw 0164.6, comments will be limited to a maximum of 4 minutes per person. The comment period will be limited to 30 minutes in duration. Anyone in the public wish to speak on agenda items?
Seeing none.
Moving right along. We're going to personnel, certified and non-certified. Mr. Capello.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. Seeking the board's approval on personnel items 11A, as listed items A through F in the agenda. Under letter B, transfers, seeking the board's approval for item 1, items A and B under number 1, excuse me. Under letter C, resignations, retirement, seeking the board's approval for items 1 through 6. They are listed in the agenda. Under letter D, leaves of absences, seeking the board's approval on items 1 through 9, and they are listed in the agenda. Under teacher overload, seeking the board's approval on item number 1. We have nothing under letter F this evening. Under extracurricular appointments, seeking the board's approval on items 1 through 13, and they are listed in the agenda. Under mentor teachers, seeking the board's approval on item number 1. Their student teachers, seeking the board's approval on letter I, items 1 through 3. They are listed in the agenda. Substitute teachers, we are seeking the board's approval on items 1 and 2. And under letter K, tutors, seeking the board's approval for item 1, letters A through D. We do have one job description for district webmaster listed under item number 1 in the agenda. And under letter M, number 1, the New Jersey minimum wage increase will occur, and that is pending the board's approval in the agenda under letter M. So those are personnel items. Mrs. Fitzwater.
Thank you, Mr. Capello. Mrs. Trompe, can I have a motion to approve Section 11, certified and non-certified items A through M?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Topps?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain from item J2, aye on the remaining.
Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 12, curriculum and instruction. Dr. Goldburn.
Thank you very much. Under number 12, letter A1, requesting approval of the professional development requests that are attached. Letter B, number 1, the field trip requests as attached. Under letter C, number 1, A, B, and C, new supplemental instructional materials at Cinnaminson High School for the English department. Under letter D, number 1, requesting approval of a new course, AP Government at Cinnaminson High School. Under letter E1, the monthly HIB report. Under letter F1, the monthly suspension report. And under letter G, the attached school calendar for the 2025-2026 school year. Requesting approval of those items. Mrs. Fitzwater, please.
Thank you, Dr. Goldburn. Ms. Iacone, can I have a motion to approve Section 12, curriculum and instruction items A through G?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trompe. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Meeker?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Moving on to Section 13, special education. Mrs. Llewellyn.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. Under letter A, contracts, there are none. Under B, student placements, again, none. Under C, consultant agreement, seeking the board to approve a consultant agreement with Educational Translation Services to provide translational services as requested by the district for the 24-25 school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Llewellyn. Mr. Evans, can I have a motion to approve Section 13, special ed, item C?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Topps. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Meeker?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. We have no policy, so we're moving on to Section 15, business and finance. Ms. Livingood.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. Under Section A, grants, item 1, that the board accepts the revised 24-25 funding statement for Chapter 192, 193 services as attached. Section B, finance, item number 1, that the board approves the mileage reimbursement request for staff members as attached. Item number 2, donations, that the board accepts with sincere appreciation the donation of $746 from Jersey Mike's of Cinnaminson to New Albany Elementary School, and that the board accepts with sincere appreciation the donation of $13,000 from CHASA to the New Albany Elementary School for new playground equipment. Item 3, that the board accepts the 24-25 wellness grant through the School Health Insurance Fund in the amount of $10,000 as attached. Item 4, that the board accepts the final eligible cost determination letter from the State of New Jersey Department of Education as attached for the preschool facilities project at the Memorial School. Item number 5, that the board approves the withdrawal from capital reserve in the amount of $375,000 for the preschool facilities project. Under Section C, Operations, item number 1, that the board approves the 25-26 rates for the Student Activity Center program as attached. Item number 2, that the board approves the memorandum of agreement with law enforcement as per the items attached. Under Section D, Contracts, item number 1, that the board approves the contract with Hometown Ticketing for electronic ticket sales as attached. Item number 2, that the board approves the Cinnaminson Township Board of Education flexible benefit plan as outlined below and attached. Item number 3, that the board approves the service contract for residency investigations with Thomas Reuters as attached. Item number 4, that the board approves the resolution to renew it and execution of indemnity and trust agreement with the school health insurance fund retroactively for July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027 as attached. Item number 5, that the board approves the Transportation Department fuel tank service maintenance and annual testing contract with T-SLAC Environmental Services as attached. Item number 6, that the board approves the setting tuition agreement between Cinnaminson Board of Ed and the Black Horse Pike Regional School District as attached. And item number 7, that the board approves the 2023 through 2028 amended contract sidebar agreement between the Cinnaminson Township Board of Ed and the Cinnaminson Association of School Administrators as attached. Thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater.
Thank you, Ms. Livengood. Ms. Blystein, can I have a motion to approve Section 15, Business and Finance, items A through D?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny. Comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. Mr. Meeker?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. I don't believe there's any other business.
There is no other business.
Okay. Moving on to public comment. This is the section where, during the public comment section of the meeting, the board will seek public comment on any item. Members of the public are reminded that if they wish to speak, when called upon, participants should state their first and last name and address clearly for the record. In accordance with Cinnaminson Board of Education Bylaw 0164.6, comments will be limited to a maximum of 4 minutes per person. The comment period will not exceed 30 minutes. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on anything? Okay. All right, then we're going to move on to Section 18, comments from the board. Mr. Kenny, I think you have something to say.
I do. As soon as my colleagues are done typing.
Updated in real time.
All right. God.
You're good. I got you there. Okay, thank you. Congratulations to Middle School Main Office Secretary, Mrs. Donna McGuigan, on her upcoming retirement. She will be greatly missed. I know from at least one parent who calls regularly. Thank you to the CMS and CHS choirs for their wonderful holiday tunes to get us in the mood tonight. Thank you to the students and families of Cinnaminson for their wonderful community service work. Thank you to Gwen and Noah for their reports. It is always a pleasure to hear their updates on our middle and high school. Thank you to all the members of the community who participated in Winterfest this year. Thank you to Jersey Mike's of Cinnaminson for the generous donation and support of our school community. And thank you to C. Hasse for that amazing donation for the playground equipment and for all you do for our students. Thank you to Dan Evans, Christine Turner, and Tony Tops for their service to our students, community, and staff. Best wishes for a happy holiday and a relaxing upcoming break. And the next regularly scheduled meeting is our annual reorganization meeting on January 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. right here in the cafeteria. More information is on the district website. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny. We are going to convene into executive session and may be taking action after the session. Mr. Meeker, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Blystein. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're now convened into executive session. Mr. Meeker, can I have a motion to reconvene the public meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trempe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're back in public session. Mr. Capello, we're going back to number 16, other business.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Fitzwater. Under item A, other business, motion to affirm residency determination of students listed in the agenda. Under items number 1 and 2, the students are listed by ID number. Again, seeking a motion to affirm the residency determination following an appeal in executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Capello. Mrs. Topps, can I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trempe. Oh, my God, my brain. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this motion is passed. Mr. Kenny, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Trempe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.